We hear about AI revolutionizing the world literally every single day, right? But we almost never talk about the invisible guardrails keeping these massive systems from just running off a cliff. So let's jump right into this explainer and look at how to tame the wild west of AI using the ISO/IEC 42001-2023 standard.
Seriously, think about it for a second. How do we actually govern the seemingly ungovernable? Imagine an AI misidentifying a massive fraudulent transaction, or even worse, exposing highly sensitive patient health data. The financial and legal repercussions are absolutely terrifying if you don't have a solid governance blueprint, and that is exactly where this standard steps in, turning those abstract, scary concerns into verifiable, auditable security controls. To map out this standard, we're going to walk through 5 key areas today. First, the high-stakes AI landscape. Then, real-world industry applications. Third, AI governance best practices. Fourth, documenting case study insights. And finally, the audit trail forward. Kicking things off with Section 1, the high-stakes AI landscape. Now, this isn't just about throwing up a technical firewall and calling it a day. ISO/IEC 42001-2023 is a comprehensive international framework. It's designed to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability specifically for AI by establishing an Information Security Management System, or ISMS. It's a totally holistic approach. We're talking secure oversight across the entire lifecycle of the AI, from the raw data it ingests all the way to the final decisions it spits out. Moving right along to Section 2, real-world industry applications. Theory is great, but let's look at how this standard actually flexes in the real world across some incredibly high-risk sectors. When you look at these completely different environments, you see how seamlessly the standard adapts. In banking, the priority is fighting fraud, right? So the standard demands strict access controls and encryption. But switch over to manufacturing, where the assets are intellectual property and patents. There, the focus completely shifts to protecting operational technology from industrial espionage. Same exact standard, totally different real-world application. Let's zoom in on banking and healthcare for a second. For these fields, the standard beautifully marries heavy data encryption with structured AI governance. In banking, you're building rapid incident response plans for financial breaches. But in healthcare, the focus is huge on ethics. AI-driven diagnoses must be transparent, explainable, and totally free from bias. If an AI helps diagnose a patient, an auditor has to be able to verify that the algorithm didn't just rely on flawed training data. And the stakes shift entirely when we talk about manufacturing and cloud providers. If a hacker breaches an industrial control system on a manufacturing assembly line, actual physical machines could be compromised. Then you have cloud services, where it's all about massive scale. They're hosting multi-tenant customer data, meaning data from hundreds of different companies living on the exact same servers. So the standard requires real-time monitoring and strict adherence to global privacy laws like GDPR to keep those giant data fortresses completely secure. That brings us to Section 3. AI governance best practices. Whether you're a bank or a manufacturer, the rules of governance are surprisingly consistent. The standard absolutely demands an end-to-end accountability. You can't just point to your IT department and say, oh, they handle the AI. Think of an unaudited AI like a genius employee with zero moral compass. If you don't give them crystal clear rules, things will go wrong. You have to explicitly define your AI ethics officers, your data scientists, and exactly what they own. Vague ownership leads to that dreaded black box effect, where an AI causes harm and suddenly nobody knows whose job it was to catch it. Clear role definitions fix that completely. And to really enforce those roles, organizations are setting up AI ethics boards. This is basically your ultimate safety net. And no, it is not just a room full of programmers. We are talking senior executives, technical experts, and legal advisors all sitting at the same table. This board evaluates the ethical implications to ensure every single algorithmic decision is fair, transparent, and thoroughly reviewed by human experts before it ever sees the light of day. As this quote highlights, the standard is crystal clear. AI systems have to be developed with fairness, transparency, and accountability in mind. This is the whole essence of explainable AI, or XAI. Look, if a system denies someone a mortgage or rejects a job applicant, it can't just spit out no. The organization must be able to explain exactly why. Transparency isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. Under this standard, it's a hard requirement. Let's shift gears to Section 4, documenting case study insights. It is time to transition from doing the hard work to actually proving it. Because as far as an auditor is concerned, if it isn't documented, it literally didn't happen. Documenting a case study requires a really strict three-step progression. Step 1, the organizational profile, laying out the size, industry, and context. Step 2 is ISMS scoping, defining exactly what specific business units and data the AI system is allowed to touch. And step 3 is gathering the actual audit evidence.
Let's look at that evidence. Why does this matter? Because auditors absolutely do not just take an executive's word for it. It's a classic trust but verify situation. They are going to cross-reference your beautifully documented policies with the cold, hard reality of your system logs. They're going to sit down and interview your system administrators, and crucially, they will actively document nonconformities. Those are the gaps or weaknesses where the organization is failing the standard. And honestly, capturing those gaps is a good thing because it tells you exactly what needs to be fixed.
And finally, Section 5, the audit trail forward. Achieving compliance is a huge milestone, but it's definitely not a finish line. Because AI models constantly learn and evolve, your governance has to evolve right alongside them. Risk management in AI is not a one-and-done effort. It requires regular model reviews, establishing continuous feedback loops, and adapting to new regulations. A model that was perfectly compliant yesterday could easily become biased tomorrow based on some new data it ingested. So I want to leave you with this question. If your organization's AI made a highly critical decision today, could you produce the audit trail to prove it was ethical, secure, and compliant? Because ensuring trust in AI isn't just about building cutting-edge tech, it's about the verifiable, documented proof you leave behind. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I really hope it brought some clarity to the complex world of AI governance.